Welcome everyone. Welcome Ring Bearer. Today we're going to talk about another commander that has been here since the first season, but it's actually very strong, and we're talking about Khaldoon. Khaldoon is a commander that is mainly focused on evil man. Oh, I skipped it. Sure did. All right. So he's really built towards evil man, but there's two way you can actually build him. I found out the most optimal way to build him would be to have obviously evil man troops, and just take advantage of his respect 5 marshal of the east, which greatly reduce damage, as well as giving you access to tribal tactic, which max give you 25% chance of attacking twice per evil man unit. So you want to run as much evil man unit as you can, so you have multiple time the chance to actually trigger the tribal tactic. Uh, with that, and this giving you tankiness to your troops, 50% chance to block 30% every time they receive damage. It's all melee unit, and there's no range evil man that you can recruit in the barracks, so you will most likely use your troop like dragoon, your spearman, and basically fallen if you're with Agmar. With the Variag, you've got your champion, and you also have chariot if you're running a run, and corsair that are actually very good as well, especially if they attack twice, because they do burn damage as well as your natural physical damage. uh, Khaldoon also got the ability quicksand, which against two target will deal an amount of damage, and has a 10% chance to inflict stun, and I do believe this actually increase with the amount of point you put in there. So let me just do it with you real quick. I've got the points, I got everything. So yeah, they receive 20% more damage. So if you've got some fallen, they will deal more damage to them. The build using the evil men units will not be using the spear dancer trait unless you've got a lot of extra points, but I would prioritize going for experienced warrior, just because it's basic attack that will deal more damage. But the second trait you want to go has running unit is the Easterling trait, which the commander will actually as the attack will reduce the stats of your enemy, so 20%. That include defense and attack. So it will, well, the enemy unit will deal less damage, as well as receiving more damage, and that's every round. So every time Khaldoon does damage, it also gives 15 might, just more damage. You want to go for the Iron Guard, and that's why we're going in the Easterling trait, because it gives 50% chance to reduce damage. So we already had a 50% chance here for the melee unit, but with the Easterling branch and you go Iron Guard, you get another 50% chance to reduce all physical damage. So combining both, theoretically you should be triggering one of them. I mean, it's RNG, it's math, may not always happen, but if you do, you're guaranteed to get a 30% damage reduction. And yeah, so this is for the physical damage. This worked for anything. So focus damage from whatever Galadriel, let's say like Gandalf, they have some focus damage as well. And the third one here, from this trait again, evil men and orcs damage will be reduced by 2%, which is going to be maxed out at 14%. So it's another flat reduction. Stacks with all the other reduction of damage that you actually get from here and now. I still have 17 points. Well, my Khaldoon is respect 12, and it also have the weapon mastery at 4, as you can see here. So I'm rocking like literally 16 point just with those two. You got the warrior trait, so that's 2 more points here. So that's basically like the 17 left here. That being said, once this build is done, if assuming Khaldoon is level 50, you will still have. Assuming Khaldoon is level 50 in his respect 5, because you need respect 5 for this build, we will have like a little bit less, so like 7 less here. But assuming you have the 4 points, you will still have 10 point left. And from here on out, you might want to go for this trait 3 right here, just because of the damage. And yeah, this like trait here that deals poison damage. Poison is not really good, so you want to kind of avoid it. So you can put the last points in there. You can directly go. It's normal attack that will deal more damage. This one here will just cause an additional damage whenever your commander attack. Can be good. And this one will deal more damage, and well, actually, your unit will be dealing more damage. So I would recommend this one instead, because not only you are doing damage, and you have like a bonus here, but you're also just pouring out the damage here, and it's bonus for all your unit. And if your unit attack all of them, well, let's say they triggered a follow-up. I forgot to put some follow-up point here. All right, so you get the idea. This branch here full, this one full, and then the remaining points over here. This should be 7 actually. I forgot to raise it up. All right, so that is for the way your trade should be done. We're now going to talk about equipment. I have a few equipment that I will be using on Khaldoon. That's currently weared by my Black Serpent, most of it, just because it's good. But we're going to start with the weapon. There's not a lot of choices for the weapon. If you don't have any of the choices that I will be showing, I suggest you actually consider perhaps something that gives might. Like, well, the axe of Khaldoon, like a broadsword. The axe could be a good idea. But if you got some of the one that I'm going to show you, best go with them. So obviously the Easterling spear. I have the proc allied mount unit damage dealt plus 4.5, which in my opinion is the best one you can get on this one, just because your Dragoon, Champion, and Fallen will be doing additional damage, and those are the main unit you want to run on Khaldoon. In an ideal situation, you would want the tier 4 of Angmar, or from the Variag to go with Khaldoon. That's where he shines the most. So if you have allied mounted unit damage dealt, that would be the best for this one. The second one that you could use on Khaldoon is the Cutlass, just because of the melee attack, speed, and might. Very, very strong. This one is for Pirate. It's like very bad, but the best point here you can get is the melee might. So just flat out 9% damage. So bonus damage for well, all your troops that are melee, and basically all your troops, because they are all melee. That being said, those are the two purple weapons that have an advantage with Khaldoon. The other one is the Reckoning, which I do have around, or did I use it? I think I used it to boost my gore bag. Let me go here, and we're gonna go get it. On the Reckoning weapon, there is a proc for more damage. So if you go for the melee might, it deals more damage to unit. That's the one you want to go again. It's flat damage. It's always good. You also get a bonus attack, just like the Cutlass and the Easterling Spear that we just talked about, but also gives might and speed. Two very, very good stats for your commander that will also boost your troops in the battle. And last one but not least, the Sandclaw, which is pretty much designed for Evil Man, and some flat stats as well. I don't recall exactly what the effect here are, but just try to be smart. If you have question, post it in the comment below. I'll look it up for you. But yeah, basically this one as well, focused for evil men damage. So that's about it for weapons. Next one would be armor. And let's go back to our Khaldoon. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to go in the pack. Alright, for the armor. Let's start by purple. Scale mail here, for obvious reason, gives your army defense for the melee, which again, you're all melee, 15 defense, as well as 18 of might and focus. So very, very strong, and makes your army super tanky. And you can go with the melee vigor, which reduce another 6% of damage dealt to your unit. That's pretty much exactly what you want to go with this one. If you are running a single stack of Fallen, I've seen it. I don't really recommend it, but you could go for Guard, which will give you 30% more damage. More defense every time. Every 2 rounds. And since you will be running one unit, you always make sure the unit that is present will receive the 30% boost. So that's the one that gives you a lot of defense, and it's very good. The other one is a Superior Oberk here. Depending if you're playing on RP or non-RP, you will go for burn damage if you know you're against a Witch King or something that is very, very strong with Alchemist. Otherwise, melee unit damage receive again, 6% reduction. Super strong. You don't want to go for the Shroud just because you don't want to evade damage if you're playing Fallen, because they need to get hit in order to have this the boost of damage. And again, Superior Berg, full on might, which is good for your unit because you will deal more damage, and your commander as well, and flat defense. Again, like the scale mail, good defense, good might, very strong. That's it for the purple armor. For the gold armor, there's the plate, Great Plate of the East, which gives army for evil man HP. Not a lot of armor gives that much HP. Just in general, and it actually, I'm not gonna refine it right now, but if you strengthen it, it gives directly every single level you level up, it gives one more HP. So it makes a huge difference at the end. So you see mine is +4 already, and +4, and if you run like Spearman or whatever, like the Albardier, super strong. Like it's basically 400 HP more per command. So yeah, in the long run, that's a ton of HP. Also gives focus for the defense. Not that it really matter. I would have rather have like maybe a little bit more might as well, like a split. But you got multiple proc here that you can go for, and they are all related to Evil Man. I would say Resilience of Evil Man, very good. Evil Man Fortitude, damage reduced of Evil Man, super good as well. And Allied Mount Unit, damage received -9%. Like those 3 here are great. You can go for any of them, they will all be good. I think the defense here would be very, very strong, just because like a 9 flat percent, it's good too, but the 2014 would scale because your Albardier are so squishy, and you want your cavalry to be stronger as well. So there's some calculation to be made, but yeah. If you're against Alchemist, obviously this one will be better because Alchemist, the fire damage bypass the defense. So it's situational, but like I would go for Fortitude, Evil Man, or Resilience, just because this one works for this one too. So that's the Great Plate of the East, and the other gold one is the Warborn Plate that I have here too. Warborn Plate battle plate. Sorry, it gives might, melee defense. So here defense that's good, and speed that will make you attack first. Well, hopefully. And for the proc here, let's go in it. And I think I have the good proc, which reduce damage. Like you don't want this. The melee defense could be good as well. Like kind of the same thing as we just mentioned with the Great Armor Plate of the East. So yeah, those two proc. Again, debatable depending on the situation. If you're in a roleplay server, absolutely go for defense melee just because you won't come across Witch King or anything. But if you're in a non-RP, maybe evaluate the Fortitude of Soldier a little bit more. And that's going to be it for the armor. Let's jump out to the helmet. The first helmet that you could be running for obvious reason will be the Horseman helms. Khaldoon mostly runs cavalry, so it gives you might, speed, and mounted defense. The 12 defense, I'm not even maxed out, so I think it caps at 15. Let's see. Yeah, it caps at 15 in 24, 24, 15. The proc is also super good. Mine is warding, which gives stun immunity. Again, it will depend on what you come across, because this one also have resolve, which is super strong if you're in a like non-RP server and you come across like all those Sauron, those Grima, they all gives madness. So this one could be very strong. But in a role-playing server, or if you want to do something in round one against like some Witch King down there that gives a 100% stun for all your unit in first round, the warding is very good against that. I know there's the mounted vigor, but just because of how like those two are so good and how you can just use this helmet on so many other commanders in so many different situation, I would go for one of those two. Like you decide, like you pick your choice and you go with it. If you're able to do both, well, good for you. You probably drop a lot of money in the game, but yeah, those two traits are what you want to get. And another consideration would be the Brutal Helm, just because it gives HP, but I would really try to avoid if you can have the horse helmet. This one is just like it's second place. Like you get the melee vigor obviously, but yeah, it's HP, speed, might. The stats are good, it works, but it's the second choice. Like go for the horseman helms if you can. That being said, let's go for gold items. There are two helmet that I could recommend, and they would be Easterling helm. For, well, again, obvious reason, one of the rare helmet that gives defense for evil man. Mine is only 2 and it gives already 12. I think it goes up by 4 every time. So I would be 16, 24 total at the end. 24 defense for just for the helmet, as well as a lot of might and focus. And also have Fortitude of Evil Man, so my evil men will get less damage done to them. And I think it's really the good proc. You could have Resolve of Evil Man with the helmet that gives a 100% chance to gain stun immunity to Evil Men each round. The each round here is important, and that's why it's better than the Horseman helmet. But it's debatable if you want to lose like 1 round or maybe like 2 against 9% reduction through the whole fight. So yeah, it's really depending on how you want to build it, but those two here are the one you want to go for. Then we also have the Cask of Pride, which again gives flat out defense, kind of the same amount, I think. Even greater, actually. He's going to cap at 28 defense, because that's 20, 24, 28. Yeah, this one gives 28 defense, which is massive. And again, the procs, same thing, like another damage reduction, melee unit, -9. There's not exactly anything really good here. Yeah, I would go for Fortitude of Soldier just because, again, damage reduction. You want your Fallen to stay strong as long as they can because you want them to stack those damage buff. And that's it for helmet. Now we're gonna jump into accessories, and there's a lot of options. So again, it's always a matter of situation. So you go with whatever you feel right, and use well, feel right towards the situation you're in. So first of all, Drums of Moria. I do have one right here, and it's mostly, again, attack melee +2, capped at +3. Give speed, focus, and might to your commander. All 3 stat. Very solid accessory right here. And for the proc, there's not a lot you can get here, so I'm going for Ace of Soldier just because if you strike first, you kill more unit, then they do less damage to you, so it's kind of a way to make sure you attack first with the Ace of Soldier. Second item would be the Worn Out Smoking Pipe that I have right here, and obviously we'll want to run this with Sustain, so some kind of heal. I think that's the only one. Yeah, there is. So yeah, here you want Sustain, exactly this one actually. The Focus will give some defense to your troops, and the Sustain will heal them every 2 rounds for a certain amount, which is very good. Khaldoon doesn't carry any heal, so if you have heal on your accessory, it can actually help out through the fight. And the last one, I don't have it because it's a single item that could be used, and it's only in the Precious Antiquity Madam chest, and it's the hit. Sorry for the pronunciation. Hit lane, like the rope. Gives HP, which is nice. Focus and might, again, very basic. And yeah, I fooled myself. We can't even use it. I'm sorry about this. So yeah, with that, let's jump to gold item. And there's also plenty, and I actually have them all, so we can look at them here. First one, Drums of Barad-dûr. Again, it's the same thing as the Drums of Moria. It gives attack, focus, and might, but with, well, better stats all around. And the Drum of Barad-dûr also carries better substats. I would go for Might of Soldier just because 12% damage is huge. Or if you want to go for the heal, all melee units recover 36% HP each round. That's very strong too. Yeah, I wouldn't go for Grudge of Good and the Bad or anything like that. Yeah. So those two here are the one you want to go for. That's for the drum. Next one will be Palantir. Again, flat attack stat, focus and might. Not a lot of might, but a lot of focus, which will make your unit tankier. And here, you want to go for Might of Soldier again, or the Tactical Mark, which will give you Pursuit. Could be useful against like a Gil-galad that gives like the protection, the evasion, so, and 30% chance to cause maximum damage each round. If you have it, because you like kind of recycle it from your Witch King or something, like those two proc could be good. Not the ideal item, but at least it would be good. One that I really think is great is the Fiddle of the Eldest. Gives focus and speed, no might, but gives you army speed 8 and defense 8. Well, mine is like 2-star, but the great thing here, it gives defense. So what you are lacking in defense, if I'm running the Great Plate of the East, I am getting it back from the Fiddle of the Eldest. So I'm compensating from there. The proc you want on it, mine is Second Wind, which will give a heal. Super great. But you can go Might of Soldier or Second Wind. Those are the two really proc you want to go with. I would strongly suggest a second wind just because of the healing it gives, as well as removing debuffs. And there's a lot of debuff that can be put on your units that you won't remove. So second wind is very strong. And last but not least is the Signet of the Barrow. Gives speed and HP to Hordes and Evil Man. So here for Evil Man, gives you +1 HP, so plus 3 at the end, and some speed and some focus. And here I have the right proc, Might of Evil Man, which gives your Evil Man 2% of damage dealt. I don't think there's anything else aside from perhaps Critical Care, which will recover 60% of HP for the first time you get damage, so the first 4 times. So that could be another way to heal your troops. But overall, I think the 12% damage through the whole fight would be much better. So that's it for the items. Let's go for army composition. A little bit of the challenge over here, and let's go with Khaldoon. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Alright, so obviously we want to run Evil Man units. I don't have access to tier 4 because this is bag end, but Fallen, which is Angmar T4, super good, super strong. In season 4, everybody has access to them, so if you have access to them, you got a Khaldoon, put them in. They're so good. They've been so strong during my season 2, where I was in Angmar. Khaldoon was my MVP commander. So Fallen, if you are with Variag, champion, very strong as well, and it's a Evil Man unit as well, so just put them on. Then we have Halbardier. I am not too fond of them, but just because of the HP buff that I will have from my breastplate, they will become like a lot stronger, as well as the defense. And because the anti-cavalry training has been changed and now provide damage reduction from cavalry, these guys are very good against anything that have cavalry. And you will often see like Theoden and well, pretty much everything has cavalry now, just because cavalry is so good. So Halbardier, super great. Corsair, the double attack will give them the 100% burn damage, so they will deal more damage as well as being tankier. But I don't know where they are. Where are my dragoons? Probably skip them. Yeah, I probably skipped them. Let me go back. But yeah, the Dragoon are actually great as well. Yeah, there they are. They're a tanky unit. They have a lot of HP. If you boost them with some defense, you could reach like around 80 defense for 95 HP. It's cavalry, so the Easterling spear also trigger for them, and they will deal more damage. And damage range is pretty small, so they always do a lot of damage. They're quick, so very strong unit. Will receive 10% less damage here, and will avoid from range unit another 30% damage here. So super hard to take down, and will take focus out of your DPS unit. That's pretty much the old troop you can play. I think those are just man here, yeah. They look like dwarves though. So yeah, those are all the evil human you will play. I know I skipped Vanguard. They are technically evil human, but they don't work with how this composition could work. I think the half trolls nowadays are actually. Let me see. I'm at the. Yeah. They are. Yeah, here. Half trolls, new unit. They are evil man. So those guys, they would trigger half trolls. Inflict the bleed and deal well 10%, but that's for the one. They're also immune to stun, so that's great. And they will get the bleed twice if they hit with the tribal tactic. So this one could be another unit for a neutral unit to be to be thought about. They're very squishy though, so you got to be careful and be able to protect them somehow. But if you're really want to try these guys, they might be good just because of the defense buff that you're giving them, so they will survive longer. On that, that's pretty much all the information that I can give you for Khaldoon. If you have any other thing you think about that I didn't mention, and if you want to talk about it, ask for further information, post a comment below. I look everything up and I'll answer to you as soon as I can. And yeah, it's been a long run and a 30-minute video, so I'm gonna let you go now and build your Khaldoon for season 4. It's been Izaar, and it's a pleasure doing business with you. See you next time.